We got an OU battle here against AshleyArgota1. 'Tis a standard battle, and yeah, I left too much in the beginning because I don't have much to talk about, and I kind of want to get into the battle. Go. Yes. VS recorder. Let's do this. Okay, here, yes, standard OU battle. So, he leads off with a Crobat, and I lead off with my Fortress. I know he's gonna taunt me, so I'm just gonna go for the Gyro Ball to get some damage off. And judging by how much it does, it kind of looks to be a like max HP, max speed one, which is annoying. So I'm gonna go into my amp because I know Ice Beam will be a 1-hit KO. He goes for the Super Mega and misses, which really sucks for him. That is gonna hurt him. Well, it doesn't really hurt him. Well, it does. It changed the outcome of the match a little bit because I'm just gonna go for the Hydro Pump, figuring he's gonna switch or go for the U-turn. He does. Goes into his Metagross is actually a new endpoint. I just bred its specs, so yeah, Hydro Pump does a crap load, doesn't kill, which is very annoying, so it must be a max HP Metagross or something. So yeah, I know it can live any hit unless it's like Bandit or something, so I just kind of stay in to kill it off, and he goes for the Earthquake, and it does a crap load, but I live it, which is cool. And I go for the Hydro Pump, and that's going to be a complete overkill, because Torrent and stuff. So yeah, Porygon's really low, and it's going to stay really low for the rest of the match, and it kind of just comes out of nowhere and becomes Death Fire, like, near the end of the game, which is kind of funny. So he goes in the Crobat. I'm just going to go into Clefable, take whatever he wants to do. He goes for the U-turn, break to my Switch. That is just fine. So it does a little chunk, and now he's going to go into his Infernape, and I'm like, yay, Mixape's going to sweep me, because I swept him with Mixape, and that, I got to stop saying that, but it's just so fun to say. So, I'm going to go into Pert, because Pert is a counter to Infernape, and he's Special Mix. Why did he know that? What? He went for Grass Knot. Why? I don't know. But what? This isn't Generation 5. You don't know my team. How do you... What? So yes, Grass Knot's going to be a 2-hit KO. Goes for the Close Combat, finish me off. It didn't really matter, because even if he went for Close Combat, he would have just surprised me with a Grass Knot next turn. So that didn't change anything, but still, what? What? I'm still... What? Okay, so yeah, I go for the Fake Out on the Ape. He switches in the Crobat, does a chunk, and now I'm just going to go into... Fortress, and he goes for the Super Fang and halves my HP, which is very annoying and stuff. So I'm gonna go for some spikes now, because I figure he's gonna predict me to predict the taunt, so I go for the spikes figuring he wouldn't taunt here. Now I know he is gonna taunt, so I'm just gonna go for the Gyro Ball because I figure he's gonna taunt now, and he does, which is cool. So yes, he taunts and he wastes it because I predicted that, and I'm just gonna go for the Gyro Ball now, and it's gonna whittle this thing down a bunch more. So I'm gonna go for the Gyro Ball once more, because I know he can't do anything to kill me because he has Super Fang and doesn't have Brave Bird. So Gyro Ball kills it. Super Fang does half, which is doing less and less because my HP is getting lower. So yeah, so I do take out the Crobat, and I'm back in yellow health after leftovers. He's now gonna go back into his Infernape. I'm just gonna stay in there, see what he wants to do, because his Infernape is kind of freaking me out with that Grass Knot prediction. Still, I'm still like, what? I'm still just like, I'm just in a completely other world. I'm like, how did? I'm not even gonna bother anymore. So I go back into Hitmontop. I'm gonna go for the Fake Out again, but he switches out once more, goes into Celebi to take the Fake Out, which is fine, because it still does a chunk, and yes, Celebi is kind of a bitch. So I'm gonna go into my Clefable because I kind of want to get a Wish Up, kind of want to see what this thing is, and he does go for the Calm Mind. I can take any hit. I can take anything from a Clefable. Thunder Wave, Toxic, doesn't really matter because Clefable is pro. So he just wants to set up on me, so I go for the Wish here, I think, just to see if he wanted to attack me. And I'm just gonna go for the Toxic just to, whittle this thing down a bunch because Clefable is pro. So it goes with the Earth Power just to gauge to see how much it does, and it does like under half because Clefable's a beast and stuff. And I go for the Toxic and I miss, which is very annoying. That was so annoying. So I'm just gonna go for it again and try to get it off now because that was just a complete play. And I don't care that it has Natural Cure because I just want to make this thing want to switch because this at this point it's at +3 now. It pretty much can't die to anything I have. So I just kind of want to make him switch, and he does switch right after he gets Toxic. Goes right back into Infernape. I do go for the Wish again just to keep stalling it out. So goes back into Ape. I'm just gonna go into Hitmontop for the 3rd time against this stupid Infernape. So he goes for the Stone Edge. I'm not sure what he's predicting there, but whatever. Stone Edge does a chunk, and I'm gonna get all my health back with Wish, and I'm just gonna go for the same thing I've been doing for the 3rd time and go for the Fake Out. This time he finally decides to stay in. Doesn't quite kill him, but it does bring it down to a point where pretty much anything can. So I'm just gonna go for the Bullet Punch to take it out. So that Infernape was annoying, but it died pretty easily. So yay! Now I think he's gonna go into the he goes into the Dragonite thing named Reptar, which is funny because it's a T-Tar on this team. He didn't name Reptar. So he goes for the Dragon Dance, predicting said switch. I couldn't do anything to him anyways, and I go into Clefable and like shit, this thing can I have no checks to Dragonite anymore. So and he has a superpower, which is a huge surprise. I thought maybe I can live in Outrage, but definitely not a superpower. So he also got a crit. Obviously didn't matter. Superpower's gonna easily take out my Clefable, and I'm just gonna go into Arcanine because I know a Flare Blitz will do a ton after the defense drop, and it's stronger than Extreme Speed because that's how stab works and stuff. So yeah, he does have a Tyranitar that's not named Reptar, which is weird. So I go for the Flare Blitz on that, and I do get a crit and a burn here. That's really, really bad for him. That pretty much cost him the match, actually. That was, like, really, really bad. The burn didn't matter at the end of the game because I outspeed and I could just Flare Blitz again, but that crit was just lame, so I'm sorry about that crit. That really sucks, man. So, whatever, I'm just gonna go for another Flare Blitz to take it out because I'm locked onto it because I am banded. I don't even think I mentioned that. I'm a banded Arcanine, so Flare Blitz is gonna finish off the Tyranitar, which is nice, and now he's gonna go and Sandstorm and stuff. Sandstorm, Ooh. Stupid Sandstorm animation. I missed Gen 5. So, he goes into Dragonite. I'm just gonna go for the Flare Blitz because I don't want to give him a free Dragonance, and he goes for the Dragonance, which is fine. So I'm just gonna go back. Now I'm just gonna switch out now because I kind of want to switch moves because I know I could just revenge this thing with extreme speed. So I'm just gonna go into my Empus Death Fire that just comes out of nowhere at 15 HP and just dies to an outrage, which is just hilarious. So there goes my Emp, and I'm gonna go back into my Arcanine and just extreme speed it, which will easily take it out after the Sandstorm and such because it's only a little bit weaker than Flare Blitz after stab and not very effective and such. So extreme speed is going to take it out because I'm faster because that's how extreme speed works, and he's not. I was kind of afraid it was going to be like Dragonite's extreme speed, but when I saw superpower I kind of assumed that he wasn't, so he turns out not to be. So extreme speed goes off, and his last is Celebi, so it's kind of looking iffy for me because if I was able to switch moves there, I could have just Flare Blitzed him and killed him, but I can't, so I have to switch out. Going to Dragoon, he knows I'm choiced, so he just goes for the Recover, figuring I'd switch, or maybe just figuring he'd live anything, whatever. So Recover is up, and yes, this is going to be kind of annoying for me, because what I have to do here is lower this Celebi to the point where I can kill it with the Flare Blitz and not die to recoil, so I just keep going for moves, and hopefully he'll kill me eventually. And here I should have went for the close combat, because I went for the close combat, it would have done stuff, and he would have just killed me with Earth Power after the defense drops, but I went for the Bullet Punch, because I think he's faster, so I guess it didn't really matter. But I should have went for the close combat there. I'm going to go for close combat now, knowing he's probably going to recover. Yeah, he is faster, so yeah, I go for the close combat now, so he goes back up to full. I'd hit him with a close combat, and after Life Orb and Sandstorm, I'm going to be hit down to the point where I'll just die, and my last is Arcanine, and the only move I can use to kill him with is Flare Blitz, so I'm just going to go for the Flare Blitz, and the recoil is going to take me out, so this is actually going to be a legit tie, which is hilarious. I think, due to the self-KO clause, I think technically I lose, because I'm the one who used the recoil move, so technically you won, but whatever. So that is a good game. That's my first tie I think I've ever had, actually, which is kind of hilarious. I actually had a tie before this, like way back in TPT, but that was a long time ago. Whatever, good game. That was a tie, which is hilarious, so bye.